These guys are climbing on the Riviera, which is on the north side of Boulder Canyon. It's high enough up that it's in the sun, which means that the snow has burnt off and it's warm enough to climb. This is mid-January, and at this altitude we're about 2,000 meters above sea level. It's warm enough, the sun's warm enough to climb in the winter. You'll see that down in the bottom of the canyon near the road and the creek there's loads of snow, and it hasn't burned off on the left, on the south side. But as long as you're a little ways up on the north side, you can be in the sun and you can climb. This crag, Happy Hour Crag, is only about 10 minutes from the road, but high enough to catch the sun. It's got some good roots on it. Dementia is really good. And these climbers are on the dome, which is lower down the canyon, but it gets full sunlight in the afternoon. This is the same day in mid-January, and as we know already, it's warm enough to climb. When I drove up the canyon in December, it was totally dry. There were drought conditions on the east side of the Colorado Rockies, which along with the wind contributed to the huge fire that took out whole neighborhoods in Superior and Louisville. The snow came 2 days after the fire. So we're passing on the right the crags we just saw, Happy Hour and the Riviera and the bipedal area, and heading up to Boulder Falls. There's a big parking lot at Boulder Falls, which we'll see after we go around this bend of the next one. And across the creek from the parking lot is Tonnerre Tower, which has some good climbing on it. There it is on the left now. Back to the day in January, and this is a trail to Boulder Falls. It's seen quite a lot of traffic. The snow's been trodden down and turned into ice, so the footing's pretty precarious. Fortunately there's this chain to stop you sliding over the edge to the right. I should have brought my crampons, but I didn't. Here I'm pulling on the chain with my right hand, trying to step on rock, and holding the camera, a gimbaled camera, in my left hand. It's a good job this chain's here. With no chain and no crampons, this would be quite nasty in places. Here are the falls, and the water for these falls comes down Dream Canyon. There's some good rock in Dream Canyon. A lot of it's towards this end, the lower end, but there's access problems. There's private land around here. I'm not sure if you're allowed to access Dream Canyon from the bottom at the moment or not. You can get in from the top, I think, but there's good crags down the bottom. There's some good crags at the top as well, but it would be nice to be able to get in from this end. From Boulder Falls, the canyon narrows and the road steepens, and there is climbing on both sides. Boulder Slips is just the right here. That's got a good bolted 5/8 route, and some other routes which are not as good. And shortly we'll be passing Buttress, which has Cosmosis and I think West Face and West Crack, all good routes. That's Buttress on the left now. There are climbs on both sides, so you can choose whether to climb in the sun or the shade, depending on whether it's hot or cold. On the right, up on the right, there's Animal Wall, which has got some good climbs, and on the left, the main crag is Avalon, which has got multiple tiers, a lot of bolted routes, some trad routes as well. I think that scree there is where you go up. So it'll be right on the left at the moment, right on the left. And there's a parking lot for Avalon. Towards the top of the canyon is Castle Rock, that's on the left now. And I think this is the route of the canyon, at least visually, when you look at it. This is the most striking line. It's called Country Club Crack. We're flying down it at the moment. On the left is a set of corners which constitute athletes' feet, the big corners there. And you'll see the scale of this when we come to the bottom where I'm standing. It looks smaller than it actually is until you see me, then you should get an idea of how big it really is. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The next one is likely to be a road trip, probably to somewhere warm like Arizona maybe.